1. I have been ignoring my girlfriend for roughly 24 hours because I'm absolutely pissed off at her and I don't know how to feel. TLDR, we were on phone call yesterday. She mentioned she went at her friend's house where her ex was also there, since he was a common friend in the group. She then sends me a photo of them two together. In her case, she said she was purposely trying to test how I would react. 5 minutes later, when I start to sound pissed, she says, "I know you've gotten angry now," cause the tone of my voice instantly changed after looking at the photo, and I was like, yeah, so why would you do it? Then she goes, "It makes the conversation more fun, interesting," but it absolutely infuriated me to the point where I dropped the call and haven't contacted her since. She knows that I am serious about her from day one. The thing is, I don't usually get mad at her about anything except whenever she mentions her ex. She's done it before and I got pissed of then, but this time the photo really broke the dam for me. She told me that she doesn't have any feelings for him anymore after they ended their 4-year-long relationship few months ago. Rewinding 7 months, our whole relationship started on pretty rocky grounds. When she first messaged me, we hit it off instantly, largely because something about her matched perfectly with what I wanted and she was single. Then like a month later, she rebounds with her ex, but says things aren't the same anymore. I didn't really develop much feelings back then and brushed it off. But as the months went by, we really started talking and snapping every day, and that's where I developed serious feelings. Then roughly a month ago, she ends her relationship again, for good this time. At this point, I'm kind of done with her shit. I tried really hard to put her in the friend zone, but my inner masculine just ain't allowing it. At this point, I either want to block her and move on or just see how things roll out. Now for the most fucked up twist. I've actually haven't met her in person. She's been my lockdown partner for the past 7 months, since she is stuck overseas and can't come back here for study. This whole thing was built on the hope that she'd come here and I'd take it from there, but COVID ain't deciding to stop and university isn't accepting students back. So far we've been FaceTiming and snapping every day. I know it's fucked, but like I mentioned, I wanted it to work out and I tried to convince myself out of this but just can't. We both were planning to go on exchange to UC Berkeley, so I thought if nothing, I'll have a friend on the trip. I'd appreciate some male perspective on this, though everything is welcome. 2. The impossible happened. I have had feelings for my friend for years and reached a point where I told her I needed distance as a result. Yesterday she FaceTimed me to tell me she broke up with her boyfriend a month ago. Now what? So, it was the classic case of guy keeping himself in the friend zone for years with this girl I know. Now, I in no way believe in any friend zone nonsense, and I'm fully acknowledging the facts. I told her how I felt, she wasn't interested. And I hung around as her friend for years despite having intense feelings for her. Not that I didn't enjoy being her friend, I loved hanging out with her. But every interaction was tinged with pain. A few months ago I reached my breaking point and told her the truth, that I loved spending time with her, but as I still had feelings for her I needed distance. Fast forward to the last month or so. She has been out of town on an internship and very chatty with me. I didn't think anything of it until last night, when she asked if we could talk. I could tell she had something out of the ordinary to say, and she informed me that a month ago she and her boyfriend broke up. She then brought up the talk I had with her a few months back. Now what? If there was ever a time to try and fight for her love or whatever, that time is definitely right now. I so badly want to talk to her and say what she might even be thinking. It's time to give this a shot. But is it too soon? Do I need to give her more time? I don't want to make this about me, but I feel like her waiting a month and then asking for a FaceTime call might have been her way of signaling me to take the next step. 3. Found out my GF might be active on dating apps while she is in my hometown meeting my family. So I brought my GF back to meet my family and we are currently staying at a family lake house. The lake house doesn't have internet, so when I woke up early this morning I took her phone to set up a hotspot since she has unlimited data. While using her phone, I noticed this weird text from some guy that wasn't saved in her phone. It basically said, "Hey, are we still on for tonight?" and said they would meet at some restaurant from the town we're from. I went and checked our text log from this night, and it just happens that she took melatonin and fell asleep at 8 p.m. that same night. Early on our relationship I had caught her on Bumble, but we had only dated for about a month and we were having different issues, so I wrote it off and gave her the benefit of the doubt of not meeting anyone. However, now I'm pretty sure she's at least shopping around. I'm in a real awkward position and don't want to cause a scene around my family, so not really sure how to handle this. Any chance it sounds like I'm just being insecure? 4. How do I tell my strict dad that I'm meeting up with my long-distance boyfriend? So long story short, I've been together with my long-distance boyfriend for a year now, and we're finally going to meet up for the first time. We're both excited, but there's been some obstacles that keep me from being really excited and percento 100 with this trip. I told my mom about him a while ago. She was supportive for the most part, and actually had talked to him a few times. But eventually, when I actually started to plan to go see him, she did little things to try and sabotage my trip, telling me she'd fly with me so I didn't save up for a plane ticket because she has a membership and free flights with a certain airline. But then last minute told me she's not coming, gave me 101 excuses not to book my flight yet when I was ready. Told me I couldn't go until a certain date because of regulations. Tried to change my mind many times, and overall a bunch of small things that would discourage me from going. Eventually she agreed to help me out with this and helped me book my flight. Now for my dad. He's been in the dark about everything this whole year. I live at home with my mom, but my parents are separated, so my dad doesn't live with us, and I only see him on weekends. I obviously need to tell him out of respect, but I have no idea how to even bring it up. Me and my dad have never been really open to each other about our social, romantic lives, but he's very old school when it comes to me and dating. He doesn't believe in long distance. He used to get upset at me for even talking with online friends on the game. Above all of this, one thing my dad does constantly is come down on my mom every time me or my brother mess up. He makes her feel like shit and tells her she doesn't know how to be a parent to us. I know he'll do this when he finds out his daughter plans to fly to the US to meet a guy. Of course, it makes sense to be worried and cautious as a parent, but I have a feeling he'll tell me I'm being reckless and immature. Therefore go and blame my mom for being such a bad mother letting me do this. I'm nervous mostly due to past experiences with him. He wasn't really supportive of the things I did in life and often told me it'll go nowhere if I continue to do this or that. He always had this golden child plan for me: go to college, get a high-paying job, find a nice guy and live a comfortable life. Anything that went against that caused him to get angry and yell at me, my mom. I've lived my life trying to please his ideals, and this is the one thing I'm willing to fight him for. But I'm genuinely scared to stand up to him for once. Not only will I take the heat, but my mom will too. Me and my boyfriend are happy and genuinely love each other regardless of what people may think. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't see this working out in the future. Has anyone dealt with standing up to their strict parents before? Because I'm really stuck on how to go about this.